Well, greetings to you all on this fine Wednesday, Wednesday, July the 13th. And hopefully our power up does find you well today. And hope you had a great day yesterday. I went down to Kobiak yesterday, saw the kids for a little bit, and they're all doing well, and heard great things about the preaching, and they've had a great time so far. And I know it's only been 2 days, but they were thoroughly enjoying themselves down there. And I was privileged to speak for one of their camp courses, and that was a tremendous blessing as well. Getting to talk with some of the young people, meeting some of them, and then sharing just a short message with them from God's Word, and that was pretty neat, and enjoy that very much. Now, we are in Proverbs chapter 26, and I would encourage you to follow along in your scriptures there. Proverbs 26, join me, verse number 17. Once again, good to be on with you. Be sure to like, share, and then comment as well so others may jump on here and catch some of us live here today. All right, Proverbs 26, verse number 17, Bible says, he that passeth by and meddleth with strife, belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. What the theme, the thought behind this verse is this: mind your own business. Okay, he that passeth by and meddleth with strife, belonging not to him is like one that taketh the dog by the ears. So hey, be mindful of what you get involved in. Not everything is your business. And so stay out of other people's business unless you're asked into it or asked for some counsel. Then just kind of stay out. Now, let me clarify just a little bit. If there are individuals that are being harmed in any way, then yes, you need to step in, but just realize what's going to happen when you step in. Several years ago, I was driving a bus picking kids up on a Wednesday night, and there was a boy and a girl. I think they were probably boyfriend, girlfriend. I think they were in their teenage years. The boy had kind of pushed the girl down and other things. And I did not see it at first. And so the kids on the bus saw it. And they said, Mr. Nieder, look what's going on over there. And sure enough, what was going on, it shouldn't be happening. And so I stepped out of the bus and kind of stepped in a little bit and told them to knock it off and to be on their way. The guy was on his way. So it was a little scary. And so you've got to be very careful about stepping into situations like that as well. You got to keep your own protection. And so keep yourself safe. That's what this verse is saying here. Mind your own business. It's like one that takes the dog by the ears. You take a dog by the ears, what's going to happen? You're going to get the teeth. And they're not happy about it. And so know that trouble's coming when you step into a situation like that. Verse number 18, as a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, am not I in sport? And this thought here, we see this a lot in our society today, where people they will do something to somebody, say something to somebody, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm just joking, I'm just kidding." And you look at the thought here: as a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is a man that deceiveth his neighbor. Okay, hey, I'm just kidding, and know this. When it comes to things like this, you've got to be very careful about your treatment of others, whether it be physically or verbally. Just because you say I'm joking doesn't mean that it makes your words or your actions okay. Some people don't appreciate the joke. Some people that they it's not a joke, and so just because it's funny to you does not mean that it's funny to other people. I was talking about this with my son just the other day about joking around in such a way to where it hurts people, and you can't do that. Just because you think it's funny does not mean that it is. And you got to treat others with respect, treat them right, and Don't make a situation worse. Really, you look at 18, a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death. Okay, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, "Am not I in sport?" What makes them mad? Because in their joking, they are hurting people. In their joking, they're tearing apart a relationship potentially. And so you got to be careful about how you joke and who you joke with. And that takes some getting used to and some getting to know people. And you got to be very careful about that. All right, and then verse number 20. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. That talebearer, that speak is somebody who does not tell the truth, maybe who stretches the truth, as we call it sometimes, and begins to tell a lie, doesn't tell the whole truth. Where there is no wood, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. Our words add fuel to the fire. And so we must be mindful of our speech, what it is that we are communicating with others. Are we making a situation worse? Are we throwing wood on the fire, or are we using our speech to help put that fire out? Listen, the talebearer, where there is a talebearer, guess what? There is strife. Where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. All right, and then let's see, we got a little bit more time. Let's look at verse number 21. As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. And the contentious man, the one who is always looking for a fight, who thrives on conflict, who is always in the middle of strife and all of that, is like coals, burning coals, wood and wood to fire. They don't mix. And the contentious man is always in the middle of strife, and so or woman. And so you got to think about it. What is it that thrives you, that drives you, and in your heart? In your heart, do you seek to rectify a situation, or do we overreact contentiously in a situation and make that situation worse than what it should be or what it needs to be? And that comes from the heart. Do you have that contentious spirit? Do you thrive off of difficulty? Do you thrive off of striving? Are you always looking for that nugget of gossip to continue to spread, and you feed off of that? Listen, that's not healthy. That's not good for relationships. Seek to repair. Seek to not make the situation worse and more contentious. Seek to calm the situation, to bring a coolness to the situation. I'm not saying the situation's easy. I'm not saying it's not difficult. I'm not saying that there's not a right, there's not a wrong in the situation. But man, you can cool down a situation by your spirit, by your presence, by your attitude, by your words, by your actions, or you can add more fuel to the fire. And so that's something to think about in your life as you deal with people, as you deal with being wronged, or you deal with people that you have wronged. Make it worse or make it better. And so that's something to think about. Sometimes the best words are unsaid words. Sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away from a situation. And as we've looked in Proverbs, taking that step back, take a step back to think through the situation, to maybe get alone with the Lord and pray about a situation. Hey, that's the best way to calm a situation down. All right, verse number 22. We might have time for one more verse here, okay? The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. And man, how true is this? Words hurt, and our speech hurts. That's why we must be mindful of the words that come out of our mouth. Are we building people up or are we tearing people down? I had this conversation with my kids even this week about our words being right, and saying things that are appropriate and things that are nice, and you know, controlling your tongue. Hey, that's a difficult thing. James speaks of it. Proverbs speaks of it. It speaks of the tongue that no man can tame. And we've all said things that we've regretted. We've all said things in a wrong spirit that we've regretted. And so the challenge, the constant challenge, is controlling this muscle here, this tongue, and using it to build people up rather than tearing people down. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and our speech, it does hurt. And man, uh, to to learn this truth and to practice this truth, I wish I could say it's easy, but man, we need to strive to practice this. And I've been I've been going through this with my family and teaching about the importance of our speech and all of that in the last several days and weeks. And so, man, we've got to take it seriously and make sure. It almost goes back to, as we think about speaking the truth, how are we supposed to speak the truth? We're supposed to speak it in love. And so if what's coming out of our mouth is not rooted in love, then what's the point of it? And many a relationship have been ruined because of what comes out of this mouth and because of what comes out of mouths. And so let's be mindful of our speech. And so these last several verses, had a lot to do with speech. And I think we've got a little bit more coming up as we close it out, but our time is up here today. So we're going to end there. Some great nuggets of truth there. And I want to encourage you, hey, let's practice speaking rightly to those that we come in contact with. Okay. Let me give a couple of shout outs to those who are watching live. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the recorded version, be sure and like, share, and comment as well. All right, here we go. Let me greet those who are watching live. Brian and Cindy, good morning to you. Thank you so much for your faithfulness in watching. Ingrid, good morning to you. Hope you have a great morning. David, thank you for watching as well. Have a wonderful day. Jean, good morning, and thank you for being on. Lynette, good morning to you. Cliff and Karen, good morning to you as well. Charlie and Marcia, good morning, and you guys have a great, great day. Lee and Angie, good morning to you. And Lynette, thank you for that second comment as well. And being a, learning to control speech, and then sometimes we do have to stand up for ourselves, and there's a healthy balance there that we've got to learn, and it's not always easy. Paula, good morning to you as well, and I agree with you. These are some powerful verses today. So much conflict in our world could be resolved by just speaking the right words. And having the right spirit in which we speak them. And so thank you so much for that second comment as well. All right. I want to thank you all for watching and have a great day. I want to remind you, we do have services tonight at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you there and look forward to studying God's word again and seeing how God works in my heart. And Lord willing, I'm praying to God do a work in the hearts of his people as well. So if you're not in the area, be sure and get in church somewhere and be a part of a church body. And serve the Lord and grow in your relationship with Jesus Christ. All right. Lord bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Lord willing, we'll see you tonight.